What do a deck of playing cards, and in particular the King of Hearts, have to do with an unsolved double murder? This is the case of Jay Cook and Tanya Van Killenborg. Let's step into the cold. Jay Cook, 20, and his girlfriend Tanya Van Killenborg, who was 18, were residents of Victoria, Canada. Jay and Tanya had headed out on a buying trip for Jay's father, who needed parts for a furnace. Their destination was Seattle, Washington. The couple had planned to stay overnight in the city before heading back to Victoria the next day. But the following evening soon arrived, and there was no sign of Jay and Tanya. The families of the couple became increasingly worried about their loved ones' well-being. Jay and Tanya set out on their trip on the 19th of November, 1987. They were travelling in a van that belonged to Jay's father. Witnesses saw the van drive off the Victoria to Washington ferry and head south on Highway 101. At around 8 p.m, the couple were seen in Hudsport. An hour later, the van was seen in Allen. It's believed that the next stage in the journey was to board a car ferry from Bremerton to Seattle. The sighting in Allen was the last time Jay and Tanya were seen alive. The Van Killenborg family received the worst possible news on the 24th of November. Tanya's partially clothed body had been found in a ditch next to Parsons Creek Road in Skagit County, Washington. She had been raped and shot to death. Plastic wire ties bound her body. With Jay still missing, the police began to theorize that he may be responsible for Tanya's death and informed his family that Jay might become a suspect. The next day, the van was found in Bellingham, 90 miles away from where Tanya was found dead. The keys to the van, plastic ties, plastic gloves, half a box of ammunition, Tanya's keys, her driver's license, and her wallet were all found behind a bar 2 blocks away from where the van had been discovered at a Greyhound bus station. A ferry ticket was found inside the van, but a green backpack, a black jacket, and a Minolta camera were missing. The camera's lens was tracked down to a pawn shop in 1990. Then came the discovery of Jay's body and the subsequent ruling out of him as a suspect. Jay was found under High Bridge outside of Monroe on the 26th of November. He had been beaten and strangled to death. Just like Tanya, he had also been bound with plastic ties. Along came Christmas, as did the first in a series of greetings cards sent to both of the victims' families. Each card had the same handwriting, and they were taunting in nature. Each card had been postmarked from different locations, including Seattle, New York, and Los Angeles. At least 6 cards were posted over 3 different holidays. The author claimed to be the killer, but DNA recovered from the cards didn't match the DNA found on the victims. Victoria cold case detectives were finally able to identify the person responsible for sending the cards in August 2010. At that point in time, the writer was an elderly man with severe mental health issues. He admitted to writing the cards and probably learned about the murders in a newspaper. The police spent many hours interviewing the man and became confident that he is not responsible for the murders. American serial killer Robert Yates was suspected of having been involved in the murders. He has now been ruled out as a suspect. Yates was sentenced to 408 years in prison after admitting to killing 13 people. A $25,000 reward has been offered anonymously. In 2010, the authorities sought help from 12 FBI profilers and homicide experts from the UK. The police are looking for someone who knows the Washington area, is familiar with police procedures due to his or her ability to hide his or her identity, and who may have spent time behind bars, as police feel the way that Jay died is similar to violent incidents that have happened in prison. Detective Robert Gibo feels that this wasn't the first time the killer had taken someone's life. Sergeant Robert Bart of the Snohomish County Sheriff's Office believes that Jay and Tanya met their murderer on the 10:20 p.m. ferry from Bremerton to Seattle. Tanya's father, William, thinks that his daughter and her boyfriend picked up a hitchhiker. William has criticised American gun laws, and he no longer watches violent films. In an interview with a Seattle newspaper, William said, "I have enjoyed Clint Eastwood movies and have always been able to separate entertainment from fact, but I have watched my last one. After I walked into a morgue and saw 18 years of love and compassion shot in the head by someone cold and calculating, I don't see the point in it." In 2008, Snohomish County Sheriff's detectives created a deck of playing cards that feature cold cases. The cards were created in the hopes of soliciting leads from prisoners about the county's cold cases that date back to the 1970s. With Jay and Tanya's case featured on the King of Hearts, it can only be hoped that someone, somewhere, knows something.